Welcome to this bonus episode of the Resolve podcast. I'm Carly Tizano, a New Year's resolution coach, obsessed with all things goal setting, personal development, coaching, and of course, resolutions. One of my biggest goals is to help you reach yours. I'm here to provide the tools, support, and inspiration you need to reach your goals this year and every year, and to feel supported every day along the way. Now, I will admit that today is probably one of those days you don't need too much inspiration, but like yesterday, since New Year's Eve and New Year's Day didn't fall in line with my normal publication schedule, I knew I still had things I wanted to share with you on those special days. Plus, they're so special with what I do. So before we jump in, I want to wish you a happy new year. I hope that it's a fantastic year, that you set resolutions, that you keep them, that you reach the end of this year and are just so proud of the things that you've been able to do and achieve and accomplish, the things that you've been able to do, all the ways you've been able to grow. So I am wishing you a very happy new year, and I thank you for starting part of it with me. I will also admit that I've always found New Year's Day to be a little bit awkward in the past, and I'll even admit it can be a tough day to start working towards your goals on. A lot of people set a goal to wake up early, but it's a holiday. So are you really going to wake up early on one of the days that you actually get to sleep in? People want to start new habits, but since it's also a holiday, the routine is different. You probably aren't getting up and going to work or sending kids to school like you normally would on any other day of the year or any other work day of the year. People want to establish new routines or get into a new rhythm, but it's not a Monday. It's again, a holiday. So I don't want to perpetuate these ideas that starting resolutions can be hard, keeping resolutions can be hard, but I know that these are things that my brain has even offered to me and tried to convince me that they're true. And I'm a New Year's resolution coach, so I'm sure that everyone else has heard or felt similar things as they try to start their new year off strong too. It feels like I shouldn't say this, but you can start working towards keeping your resolutions on January 1st or on January 2nd or January 3rd, since this year that's a Monday, or next week, or any other day of the year. That's part of why I coach people all year long, not just on January 1st. But I would encourage you to just decide when you're going to start. If that's today, then perfect. If it's not, okay. And then start when you say you're going to. If you're starting to work on your resolutions today, congratulations. That's so exciting that you get this fresh start. And of course, if you want to know why you should even set resolutions to begin with, why they're one of the most powerful goals that you can set, then check out episode 1 of the podcast where I dove into 10 reasons that I believe resolutions are some of the most amazing goals and 10 reasons why I love them. So I won't get into them here, but I hope that you're convinced, and I hope that you are starting off this year strong and setting resolutions. So I love resolutions for so many reasons, but one of the major reasons is because of the inherent motivation and fresh start and collective experience that we get on New Year's and January 1st, a la today. You probably feel a little bit extra motivated. So I want to encourage you to capitalize on that. Use the fresh start that you have. It probably won't last forever, but use it while you have it. You may not even have it tomorrow. You may not have it next week, but if you feel it today, then use it. It's not something that we can just save for later. We can't put it aside, shove it in our backpack and pull it out when we want to. Unfortunately, we can, of course, create motivation later when we want it, or inspiration. But this inherent sense of motivation that we feel on January 1st isn't something that we can just preserve because January 1st only occurs on January 1st. It's also super powerful to start to build momentum that way. If you feel motivated, if you feel inspired today, then begin to use that to build your momentum for the rest of the year. It doesn't mean that a day won't come when you don't feel motivated or things feel a little bit more difficult or you don't even want to get out of bed, but you can still start to build momentum now, and it will make it that much easier to overcome your hurdles whenever they do show up. So check off small wins if you can today, whether that looks like checking off your first small resolution or just taking the first step towards it. Gretchen Rubin always says that we should set at least one small resolution that we can check off right away to start to build momentum towards the other greater, larger things that we want to work towards and achieve. So she always uses the list appropriate for whatever year we're in. So the 21 for 2021 list or the 22 for 2022 list. And so I always be sure to, when I create my list, that I include one of those things that can be checked off pretty easily or with not a lot of effort. It doesn't always get checked off on January 1st, but it is one that I can either start working on or thinking about or schedule and know that it is going to happen soon. So that's another way that even if you can't accomplish it today, you can start to build momentum towards accomplishing that thing and know that it's just going to continue to build from there. Or you can start to implement one or several of those habits that you want to over the coming year, integrate it into your day and into your routine. Remember, each thing that you do counts. Going to the gym once today counts. Making a healthy dinner tonight counts. Getting to bed on time tonight also counts. Each time you do something matters, and it does count. Each individual separate time, you get a gold star for each of them. Be willing also to shift from inspiration and motivation, which is probably what you're feeling today, to commitment or willingness when you need to. Those emotions are the ones that are going to carry you through probably the rest of the year, but you'll likely slide back and forth to times when you feel inspired and motivated along the way. But commitment and willingness are much grittier emotions. They're ones that you can conjure up much more easily and feel much more easily, especially if you have very carefully crafted and created and visualize, like we talked about yesterday, that image of the life that you want to create, if the things you want to accomplish, and you're sure you want to accomplish them. There are things that you truly want. They're not just things that you wish for. And they're things that you are willing to put in the work to achieve. Then getting to a place of commitment and to taking action from commitment is much easier than forcing yourself to get out of bed every day for the next year because you feel motivated. So while you feel inspired and motivated now, and that is awesome and fantastic, I certainly do. I'm going to be capitalizing on those for as long as possible. Use those while you can, but also don't see it as a bad thing or a wrong thing when at some point, probably in the next couple weeks or next couple months, if you're lucky, that you have to shift into relying on commitment and willingness to get out of bed or to go to the gym or to make that healthy dinner or to get back in bed on time. That's okay too. It's part of the process, and those emotions will carry you through too. They will also get you where you want to go. So I know this isn't a super long episode. I just wanted to pop into your feed on this very special day, which is a very special day, but it's especially special to me because of what I do and the way that I get to help people. And of course, I wanted to pop up and wish you a happy New Year's Day and inspire you to capitalize on your motivation. I'm calling it motivation capitalization for as long as possible. But also, it's okay when you can no longer capitalize on motivation that is not there and you have to shift into something else. I'll be here then too. And like I said, I'm going to be giving you the tools, support, and inspiration you need for every day, every month this year, so that you can keep your goals this year and every year. So you're not alone, but I'm super excited for you and for this year and for all that it holds, the resolutions that will be kept and the ways that we'll all grow together. So this isn't really an episode meant to have a resolve to, but I will again give you one anyway. Resolve to check off your resolutions for the coming year. And in line with what we talked about today, capitalize on the motivation and fresh start that we get today on New Year's Day. It's natural, it's inherent, and we are going to capitalize on it as much as possible. So I am going to go and enjoy the holiday, start making progress on my resolutions, and don't worry, I will be sharing what they are very soon. And since it's not a normal episode, I won't share what I'm reading, but I do want to toast to New Year's Day, to us, to our resolutions, and of course, to all that lies ahead. Thanks for tuning in to the Resolve podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Carly Desano. I would love to connect with you. Don't forget to rate and review. It really helps other people find the show. And subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss another great episode in just a few days. For the show notes or additional support in reaching your goals, check out carlytesano.com. Until next time, here's to all that lies ahead.